We don't always like all the ways of family members. We oftentimes disagree with some of the ways of family members. Family members oftentimes need to learn how to do things. We don't do them always correctly. But in fact, when it comes, it is Malcolm X who said, and many of the rappers have taken it up and try to glorify it, by any means necessary. By any means necessary. And they say, the end justifies the means. And we want to get there by any means necessary. That's a worldly perspective. That's not a spiritual perspective. Now listen to me good now. That's not a spiritual perspective. I don't care who said it. It's not a spiritual perspective. Jesus Christ says your end, whatever you are after, whatever you are trying to do, your end should be reflected in your means. It's not by any means necessary. No. What you're trying to achieve should be reflected in how you get there. If you're trying to achieve love, then you ought to be loving on the way there. Are you here? You can't be ugly and expect to receive love. That doesn't even make common sense, but that's what by any means necessary means. That means if I'm after justice, I can be violent, I can be ugly, I can be mean because I'm being abused and used. I don't like it. It's not right. It's unjust. Therefore, I can be just as hostile and ugly and mean and violent to achieve justice. No. That's not the spiritual perspective, and it's not the right perspective. That perspective leaves a trail of sickness and death and disability. That's a Donald Trump trail, and we don't want that kind of trail. You don't want to be ugly to achieve something. You don't want to be nasty along the way to achieve something. Talking about if I achieve it, at least I achieve it. Well, how did you achieve it? Jesus Christ did not leave a trail of ugliness. He left a trail of healing and salvation and deliverance and lifting and inspiration and enablement and empowerment. That's the trail that he left. He left a trail of people who were healed and delivered and set free. Your end should be reflected in your means. What you're after, I should see it in your interpersonal reaction and interaction. And that's just simply another way of saying what you sow, you reap.